Jesus had to tell his disciples some things. He said, I need you to go out, and I need you to go out and tell some people. And baptize some people. In the name of my Father. In the name of me. And in the name of the Holy Spirit.
I've been a member of Belmont for 50 years. I think I joined when I was 12. I have been a member of the choir, active member of the choir. Well, you know what? I was a member of the youth choir when I was younger, and I think I may have, at one of my jobs, I had to work on Sunday, so I couldn't come then. And I started back maybe in 1989. Belmont has impacted my life outside of the church in a lot of ways, because I got as far as being a Christian is concerned, my background was here. I learned when I was a little child with Miss Ann Boyd and Miss Georgia Donaldson. A lot of them taught us in Sunday school.
What I do at the church is I'm a member of the Sunday school department. I'm a member of the senior choir. I'm a deacon, and I'm the treasurer of the church.
And it reads, Again the word of the Lord came unto me, saying,
Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them,
I've been a member of Belmont for 50 years. Well, I was raised at First Baptist Eves, and when I married Harold, our family was there, and my mother had always brought us here on the odd Sundays, because churches used to be Belmont first and third, First Baptist East second and fourth. So we came here every Sunday. So, and after I married, in a while, then I decided I would join Belmont.
Since I've been a member here at the church, I grew up here, as I said earlier. I was a Sunday school student, a member of the Red Circle and Sunshine Band, a member of the choir, Sunday school teacher, worked in Vacation Bible School, attended missionary meetings, and I was the treasurer of the Missionary Society, because this is my family's church. My grandfather, my mother's dad, Mr. Henry Green, was one of the founding deacons when they moved here on this hill. His name was Henry Green. That's my mother's dad. So that's my grandfather. So I just grew up here, in the church.
And help them to understand it is you and you are God alone. In the name of Jesus, we agree and say, Amen.
Belmont was the church home for you?
I was born and raised right around the corner there. And everybody I know was in Belmont, and I didn't see nothing wrong with being in Belmont too. So I have not missed, not enjoyed anything. I love the place.
And to think that we had a mindset to come out this morning. We worship you, God, because we come to know you as our God.
So I'm on several different ministries. I am on the deacon board. I'm a trustee, and I'm vice president of the Men of Belmont.
Okay.
Trustee, I've been a trustee for 10 years. I've been on the deacon board now. It's been a little more than a year. and I've been on the men of Belmont for years. Impacting my living outside of the church, what I would say is I'm always in contact. It's like family. So I'm always in contact with my family. So they're always in my daily life because either we're texting, talking, or talking about something for church. Something we got, some auxiliary, we got to do something. So I'm always in communication.
That's true. So, what's one of your fondest memories, or what do you love most about this church?
My fondest memory was actually the 138th anniversary, because we had not been here that long. We've been here a year, and we volunteered for that committee, and that was a very wonderful memory. And to watch all the students at that time, all the up-and-coming teenagers, and the work they did for helping that 130th anniversary.
That is being partakers of the Holy Sacrament. Father God, we pray, as David prayed, created me a clean heart, renew the right spirit in me.
Deacon since 1987. Unique or special? The fact that it's the largest black church in our community of Arlington, and it relates to pretty much everyone in the community. All of the older members of this community know of Belmont, and a lot of the even back in the day, the white bankers who were friends of mine, they always came to Belmont at least once or twice a year.
Presently, I'm a choir member.
Okay. And how long have you been in the choir?
Ever since I can remember. I was in the youth choir, and the adult choir and the mass choir. So I've always sung in the choir. My daily living outside of church, well, as a Christian, I just try to do what I'm supposed to do as a Christian and live my life that I've been taught to live by growing up in Belmont.
Okay.
I guess what makes Belmont special and unique to me, it goes back to the fact that this is a small church and this is my family church. Every time I assemble in the assembly part of the church, I can just feel the presence of those that have gone on, like my grandfather, who was an usher on the usher board, and I recall his post was in the back of the church. My grandmother, who's on the mother board, and I can just feel her presence, and the mothers that was there, and the hymns, and the moaning and the groaning they did doing worship service, and my mother in the choir. I guess all of those things, and even down to the deacons that are going on, I can just feel their presence when I'm in the church, when I assemble here.
Okay, so how long have you been a member of Belmont?
Since 1949, I believe it was.
Oh, that's a long time, Uncle Charlie.
Okay, that's a long time.
And what do you do here at the church?
What do I do at church?
Mm-hmm. How do you serve?
Well, I used to have a class or two, but I don't have it now. I got old.
Mm-hmm.
So I retired.
You're a good teacher, Sunday school teacher, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I can claim. I did that a long time. Did I used to have a class with you in it one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was a little girl then, and now you've been a deacon for a while, right?
Yes, ma'am. Since I don't know how many long years now, but what did I say the other time? 49.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been somewhere. I don't know if it was that 49 when I was made deacon or not.
So how did you know Belmont was the church home for you?
How did I know it? I started coming. Been coming all my life.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know.
Okay.
It's close by, and I've been coming here for 40 years alone. I don't know of another church around here that's as accessible as Belmont is for me.
Right, okay.
Started Sunday school here. I was trustee here. I had a Sunday school class for quite a few years. I was a deacon, still a deacon. And what else? I was a choir member for a long time. What I love most about Belmont, I can't define what I love most about Belmont. I love Belmont. And I guess it's because I've been coming so long. It's a part of me. And well, you know, I never belonged to another church, but I haven't heard of another church that does better than Belmont.
Steve Potts, drums.
Bobby Crawford.
I'm Daphne Beasley, church organist.
I'm Audie Smith, pianist.
I am not minister of music, but music director here at Belmont Missionary Baptist Church. I have been here all of my life. I joined this church in 1956. And I started directing the choir in 1969.
Well, I've been here since 10th grade, so I guess that's 1971. Didn't join until probably maybe about 10, 15 years ago. It was before Pastor Bailey. And I came as a church organist, and that was back when Sundays, we only had 2 Sundays each month, so I was here on the first and third Sunday. Those were the Sundays that we had service. Was it first and third?
First and third.
Yeah, first and third.
First and third. And I can't even remember how she got here.
I don't know either.
We were just talking about it. I don't even remember how she ended up here. I'm glad she did.
Long time.
Yes.
And I can't remember, I came here in 2010, I think. I'm not sure about the years, but I probably joined about 3 years ago. Maybe.
I think it was in 16. When you and Steve both united with us. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we all a team now.
When we're going back to those 2 Sundays, that's what I want.
See.
How did you guys know that Belmont was a church home for you?
I just felt comfortable with everybody, the members, family members, Minister Bailey. I just felt at home and comfortable. Love it.
There's a lot of pressure to join. I mean, I'm just kidding.
By whom?
Everybody looking at me funny when I'm coming in on Sundays. Like, when you gonna join? I had to join. The embarrassment, and I was in the meetings, in the members' meetings anyway. So I'm just saying, well, might as well do it. Let me go and make that move. So here I am.
And I was here so long, since 10th grade, and I've always felt at home. But having played at other churches, the reason I stayed this long is because it's chaos free. You know, it's being part of an organization where it's just, you just come here, you do what you have to do, and remember who you're doing it for. And you don't have all these differences, personality differences. So that's something that a lot of musicians I know deal with. You just don't have that here. So I finally joined after about 40 years.
40.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I'm the one who urged these two.
Not just you, everybody.
I told them what Sunday to do.
Pastor Bailey would say, I'm praying for this to happen. So, you know, the hint, there was plenty of hints.
So I came in, a little bit before
Yes, you came before. You were here, gosh, was it 5 years before Artie came?
I think so.
It was at least about 5 years before Artie came. And you know, speaking on terms of this, we have been very blessed. We have been very blessed. Our first musician that I remember here was Professor Sales. Professor Sales. After him was Professor Omar Robinson.
Ooh, yeah.
He was very influential to me. Following Omar Robinson, Bessie McKenzie. Bessie McKenzie encouraged me to start directing the choir in 1969. She told me, you can do it, Crawford. Come on, we need somebody to step up and do it. I've been doing it ever since. And with Pastor Dunson and Bessie McKenzie, I couldn't go wrong because they had my back and they encouraged me, they pushed me, they sent me to the church, sent me to the Nationals, and Pastor would talk to the people at the Nationals. At that time, Bessie McKenzie was Minister of Music at the National Baptist Convention. And she pushed me, she told them, use him. And I've been being used in the National for ever since 1969 was my first year. 1979 was my first year going to the National Baptist Congress of Christian Education. And that was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I've been in and out ever since. Praise the Lord.
Awesome team. Yeah.
This is an awesome team.
Okay.
They really, I am serious, we have the best team that I know of.
And he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine.
I love being here among friends.
Okay, that's good. And what do you think makes Belmont special?
Just being a member of Belmont.
Okay.
That's what my parents said to me when my parents were living. We all came, walked to Belmont long years ago. I've been coming here for a long time.
Church.
Well, I love everybody. I enjoy our pastor. I think he's a very good pastor. The members seem to be very good and very friendly.
But I was a urgent for 20 years here before I became a mother. What I did, because I belonged to Morning Grove, but when I moved to Arlington, it was closer, Belmont was closer than Morning Grove, and that's why I tried.
Well, I attend church service on a regular basis, and I'm a member of the Educational Committee, the motherboard, and I guess I have been on the Education Committee for about 20 years, and on the motherboard around 15. Well, I was previously a member of Jones Chapel, and at the close, I know Belmont was the place for me. It was close to home, and I enjoyed the community and I enjoyed the people in church. I love this church because it's a small church, nice family style church, and people seem to be sincere and grateful to each other. They share in and they help one another out in their needs.
How I got into teaching Sunday school. My husband was the assistant teacher.
every time it was time for him to teach, then it got passed to me. So I started teaching Sunday school that way. I became Uncle Charlie's assistant, and I was his assistant for years. And up until maybe 4 years ago, maybe, that I started taking over class, as he started doing more of the teaching as he stepped back some. So I had a good teacher, good training in doing that. It has helped me grow in my faith. And I'm going to be quite honest, it wasn't really something that I desired to do, but when God has something for you to do, you're going to do it. It takes a lot of time for preparation. You have to take it seriously, but then it benefits you as much as the students that you're teaching. And I like talking. I like, not me talking, I like to know their thoughts and their beliefs. And then it all blends together. It's like a soup. You put a little dab of this and a little dab of that, and you mix it all up, and you come out with a fantastic soup or a fantastic lesson where we can all have something to take home and to marinate within our soul and to help us get through life. I still teach Sunday school.
Okay.
I still teach. And then while I'm telling you about that, Sunday school starts at 8:30. We have a great Sunday school where you can just speak your mind. No answer is a wrong answer, or no question is a dumb question, because any of us in there profess to know it all. But then we just really get into a good discussion, and then we all help by that discussion.
That's good.
I grew up basically in this church from a child on up. For a short period of time, I lived in Memphis, and I attended Castalia Baptist Church. But this was all, I never joined there. This was always where I wanted to be. I felt comfortable. I felt that I would be able to grow here, because during my time, some of the saints that have passed on, Miss Georgia Hayes, Miss Virgia Hayes, Miss Mary Alice Cherry, I came up under them, up under their wing, and they just took us and they taught us. They did things with us during the summer. So when school was out, to Arlington I came. And then when I was 12, I joined this church. But it was 13 when I was probably going on 13 when we moved back to Arlington. And so this has just been home. I never really wanted to be anywhere else. It was just a different atmosphere. Everybody was concerned about everybody. And we had all of this mothering that they just put us under their arms, under their wings, and just taught us. Belmont has always been about helping those that want to be helped. If you want to learn, or if you want to do something, it's always been about you present your idea and they tell you, you take it and run with it. Pastor Donson was one of the people, when he gave you a task, he told you what he was looking for, but he didn't tell you how to do it. He didn't look over your shoulder. He always said, get it together, bring it to me, and we'll talk about it. If you run into any trouble, then I'm here to help you. But this is what I have assigned you to do. So you take it and you run with it. I'm not going to micromanage you. But if you see where you're falling into some trouble with it or having some difficulty, you come to me. I'll help you with it or point you in the direction where someone else can help you. And that was the thing that I really enjoyed, that he didn't stand over your shoulder and do. And when I became president of the Missionary Society, I've been there doing it a long time. I was a very young woman. Probably at that time, the youngest woman in the Friendship District where the churches were that at 30 years old. I've been a little younger than 30 to become the head of the missionary side, and there I am still doing it. I was recommended to fill that position by women that were old enough to be my mom. But they saw something in me that where I could take this and run with it. They talked to Pastor about it, and then he presented it to me about doing it and asked me what I do. And so here I am.
I got a Savior in the kingdom, ain't that good news? I got a Savior in the kingdom, ain't that good news?
I have been a member of Belmont my whole life, 23 years.
And I also been a member my whole life for 19 years.
I sing in the choir and I teach in the nursery.
I also sing in the choir and I am a part of the youth. I dance in the praise dance. I participate in puppet ministry, and I'm also a part of the ushering and greeting committee. Belmont has impacted my daily living. By last year I left for college, and after leaving I've gotten prayers and gifts from many of the members that helped me succeed throughout my college life.
Belmont has impacted me they helped me learn as far as teaching children in the nursery, and that's being my career goal. I want to be a teacher, so that helped me. And as far as going to school, I brought my Bible and learned a lot of stuff within my Bible.
What is your fondest memory?
Congress.
For sure, Congress.
Yes. Going to Congress, I learned so much, and I also had fun with it. When we went to Congress, we did the choir. My first year, I also did praise dance. I was the only one. But after doing the singing and praising, we went to class and learned a lot of stuff that we came back with.
And we met a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Christian-based.
I've been a member of Belmont for 18 years.
Okay.
At church, I sing in the choir. I participate in praise dancing. I do the puppet ministry, and I take part in devotion. Outside of church, it's impacted me because I know how to handle situations and deal with tough things in life. So I love that being at this church, you're around family and you feel comfortable, and you always have someone to go to and things to learn.
I've been a member for 20 years. Well, I was the choir member. I am a youth leader, and I also work in the nursery. Belmont has impacted my daily living outside of church by teaching me how to maintain Christianity and how to be a good person and how to treat others outside of church, and how to share those qualities with other people so that they can live the same way. What I loved about this church is the fact that it is a family-based church. Basically grew up here with all my cousins, and we'd all get in trouble together and we all learn together. And one of my favorite memories is being taught by Uncle James Arthur and being in his classes in Sunday school. He's the only reason why I would get up early, other than being forced to. But I'd be excited to see him and be excited to be in his class in Sunday school and to learn from him. I learned so much from him as a child, and I always hold those memories with me.
What I've done here at Belmont is I have been part of the choir, the youth choir, the adult choir, the mass choir, and I've been an usher and helped out everywhere that I can help out. The church has impacted my spiritual journey outside of church by teaching me life lessons. For me growing up, the people in the church, the family members in the church, they didn't just teach me about God, they taught me about life and how to handle things in life in different situations. So what makes Belmont special to me is there's a saying that says it takes a village to raise one child. And for me, Belmont was my village because what I did not learn at home, what I did not learn in school, I learned in church, especially my black history. I learned most of my black history in the church, and that is very, very important. My fondest memory has to be Vacation Bible School. I remember being younger and counting down the days until Vacation Bible School because I had such a good time. I learned a lot, and it was just the coolest thing ever to do all the activities, the art activities, the field trip that we went on, and those memories stick with me until this day.
It is going to be our 12th anniversary.
No.
50th?
Oh, no.
Not 50th? 68.
No.
Oh, do you guys know what it is?
Yeah.
What is it? 150th anniversary.
I have been a member of Belmont for 27 years, soon to be 28. Basically all of my life I've been here at this church. I have served in many capacities at this church. I was a youth choir director. I sang in the youth choir. I sang in the mass choir. I directed the mass choir. I am a youth leader, a youth advisor. I used to lead praise dances, participate in praise dances. I help out in the nursery sometimes. I help out in the kitchen with the food. I've been a Vacation Bible School teacher. Whatever they ask me to do, I pretty much do. Belmont has impacted my daily living outside of church by instilling in me morals and virtues and things that God wants from me to help people understand who He is. Saying that we're a missionary church, our main goal is to teach others about Christ. So Belmont has taught me how to teach others that His love is always there and always real. I love that when you come to this church, you are around family and you are among friends. I know that everybody has said that in their interview, but literally, at Belmont, you are among family and friends. If I'm sitting out in the pews, I can go through the choir and everybody in there is either a cousin, friend, uncle, or aunt. And I just love being around so much love and support every Sunday, if not every day.
That we are not to allow loving kindness, which is mercy and trust, to forsake you. Yeah. Keep love in your heart. Yeah. Keep love in your spirit. Yeah. If you want others to love you, learn to love somebody else.
One of the members of Belmont, he's gone on to be with the Lord now. The Reverend Lee Salisbury was a member here, but we were co-workers. And Reverend Salisbury told me that the church was in need of a pastor. And I made application as well as several interviews with members of this church. And then I preached one of my first sermons here, January 2003. And they asked me to come back, and then through the process, I was elected pastor and became pastor and entered as pastor on the third Sunday in April 2003, which was Easter Sunday morning. Oh, it's a great impact, but it was all for the good, whereas I continued to study. This is a church with educators, school teachers, principals, formal and past, and those type of members also help keep you on your toes. Well, there are two, to be exact. One year, we carried the church down to Atlanta. We viewed the King Center and Ebenezer Baptist Church where Dr. King pastored. Also at that time, the children was all around me, and one of the mothers at the church, Mother Emma Clark to be exact, said, "Oh, look at all the children just gathered around him and we were running and playing together. That was a very fond memory to be with the youth of our church. Secondly, I'm reminded when we carried members to the National Baptist Sunday School Conference, and there were 37 members, many of them between 15 and 17 were our youth and young people. That was a fond memory to carry them to the Baptist Sunday School Congress to further their Christian growth. What makes Belmont special and unique? Sometimes there's criticism about pastoring a family church. I spoke at a conference once and said, I pastor a family church, and it's a joy to pastor a family church to see family members come together and work as a unit. So that's a fond memory of mine.